Watch this. Check this out, y'all.
There has been accounts using my face, telling stories that I've never told, sharing news I have never shared. AI is honestly getting out of hand.
I get threats daily on IG. Federal government is involved with something that I didn't do. Did not post that video.
AI is now being used to put a target on black people's backs, putting us in situations we were never in, saying or doing things that we never did.
If your government can steal your content in order to weaponize a falsity, a lie against Americans, in order to get Americans, death threats, that's your government doing that to you. What else could they do?
And it's getting scary.
Share this video, please. I'm begging y'all. Don't click off this video. Watch it straight through. I'm begging you. Let's get this out there because this AI is dangerous, y'all. Check it out.
It's the Department of Homeland Security shared an AI-doctored video, making it look like a group of black teens was threatening ICE agents, which was 100% fake. But that didn't stop DHS from sharing the video and threatening those kids on their official X page with the post that got over 37 million views, putting those kids in real danger from a MAGA conservative base that has already shown their bigotry and penchant for violence loud and clear.
Call for a civil war and let us do our thing. Let us go door to door, street by street, and clean this country.
And in a completely separate situation, AI was used to steal the face and identity of a black woman to create a fake video of her calling a DoorDash driver a liar after she claimed that she was SA'd by a customer. Which is crazy because this black woman never spoke on the situation at all. It's disturbing and dangerous. We are officially in Black Mirror territory, which is something I've been concerned and warning y'all about. Everyone should be terrified by AI at this point.
Come sharking with me, y'all. The ninjas is outside. Ooh, y'all, look at him.
What's up?
You cut off your friend for missing your birthday dinner, but not the man who forgot your birthday?
It's really scary and unsettling because of the implications of what can be done with videos like this, especially in the hands of anyone that has malicious intent against an individual or...
Look how they did the sister. You're not even able to tell the difference if it's a real person or if it's AI. So they could take any of our likeness, any of our images. It's not only videos, it's pictures as well. So that means they could go on your Instagram, take a couple of pictures and put it into their AI system and make you an actual...
Well, I've checked it over, and I have to say that actually, legally, the Streamberry Corporation can do this.
What? How?
Trust me, I'm as shocked as you are.
But the show is using my life. It's my name, it's my career, it's me. They're using me, so...
And you assign them the right to exploit all of that.
What? When?
Terms and conditions.
I have never seen this before.
Yeah, you just haven't seen it printed out before. All of that would have popped up on your phone, whatever, when you first signed up to Streamberry, and you clicked accept.
But, I mean, I had no... How was I supposed to know this?
I know, but you did accept it, and so they're in the clear.
Never in my wildest nightmares, I thought I'd see myself defecating in a church.
Well, technically, that's the Joan character, not you.
So this character, whose face do they have? Do they have your face or my face?
Your face.
Salma Hayek's face. So then whose anus is doing the shitting?
Selma Hayek's anus?
Bingo. I am Roman Catholic. My grandmother Rosa was going to be a nun. She might die when she sees this. What right do they have to kill my abuela with this deep, fake, heretic abomination?
Your image rights agreement with Streamberry. It's page 39, paragraph A. Specifically covers any acts or behaviors Joan may exhibit up to, including, and beyond defecation.
Beyond defecation?
Beyond, that's what it says.
You know I don't read this crap. I am a dyslexic, talented actress with questionable English. That's why I overpay you to protect me. I mean, doesn't my asshole have any rights?
Okay.
Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. And, I just want to touch on this, right? Given the times that we're in, right? We're seeing that this whole, AI, deep fake and using the likeness of individuals, to have them say or do things that would not necessarily be something that they would say or do, okay, in an effort to, slander them, to accuse them, right, to make it appear as if they are, guilty of some, sort of, crime or whatever. We're seeing this actually taking shape and taking form, even within, the actual government of Babylon the Great, right? And this is something that, from the beginning when, we started to see, this deep fake and AI, videos and all of these things, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Awashai, the prophets, the men of the Lord was sounding the alarm about, okay? Because we know that Esau is going to use all of his, various different deceptions and deceivableness, right? Lying wonders to try to, entrap and try to categorize the believers of Yahweh Bashim Awashai as being dangerous, right? As being someone or people that need to be, dealt with on a, criminal level, right? And, this is all according to the purpose of Yahweh Bashim Awashai, because, the Lord is going to have to, stand up, right, and be that standard for us in this time. Okay, but nonetheless, we know that in order for the Lord to set up that standard, there is going to be a need of a time of trouble, right? There's going to be a need of, us being persecuted and us being hated. You see, so this is why Yahweh Shai, forewarned us that when you start to see these things, to don't panic, right? These things must needs be, all right? But as we're seeing, as you see the clips that I played in the beginning, right? You have Jake is becoming, as it says, right? We are in danger. They are using AI to frame, it says black people, right? Which we know that is, the Israelites of the Southern Kingdom. But it's not just, the Southern Kingdom Israelites, the Northern Kingdom as well, right? We see we are in the beginning portions and beginning, stages of Jacob's trouble. It's something that we actually talked about, off camera, me and a few brothers, about these videos that you see, Jake posting about November 1st and them going to, take food from the grocery stores, or them, going to try to take food from individuals that are at the grocery stores, right, in the parking lot. We were saying how some of those videos could actually either be paid, actors, right, provocateurs that is, being paid to make these videos that say that they're going to do these things, or they could actually be AI videos, right, of Jake, okay, that is being portrayed, right, by, the government, okay, to make it appear that, Jake is out here going to, become violent and do these things. Now, we also know that we are living amongst, these wild beasts, right? These natural brute beasts, as Israel, the wicked of Israel is. We know that the times that are coming, right? You have these spirits created for vengeance, but we also at the same time have to be circumspect, right? Not being ignorant of Satan's devices, right? And the agenda that this devil has is to portray and paint Jake, Israel, right, as being the problem of their society, right, as being the reasons of all of, the issues that are happening here. Okay, but at the same time, their main target and their main, people that they want to come against is, as we've always been saying, is the ones that believe on this truth, because it is this truth, right, in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and those that believe and call upon that name, that is what's going to, ultimately be the reason why this devil's kingdom is taken down, right? That is going to be the reason why Yahweh Shai is going to return, with the heavenly host and redeem us, right? Because the Lord is not redeeming the wicked of our people, right? He is not coming to save, the ones who are wise to do evil, the ones who are, simple-minded and foolish and disobedient and godless, right? The Lord Yahweh Shai is coming for his church, okay? And that is the ones that trust and call upon his name. And that is who Esau Edom really, has that agenda against, right? When you go into the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 17, it says what? The dragon was wroth with the woman, right? The woman being the nation of Israel as a whole, okay? And why is the dragon, right? Dragon being the system, right, of Esau Edom, okay? Why are they wroth with the woman? Because of the promise, okay, that was given unto our forefathers as a promise, as an oath, and as a covenant. It says, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Okay, so who are the ones that keep the commandments and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach? Those are the ones that believe on this truth. Okay, those are the ones that are, boldly proclaiming the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Let's get this. I believe this is in 1 Timothy, might be 2 Timothy. In 2 Timothy, chapter 3, 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12, it says, yeah, and all that will live godly in Hamashiach Yahushai shall suffer persecution. All right, so those that are living godly are going to suffer persecution. You see, but that suffering of persecution isn't to for the elect, rather, is not to be something that you are fearful of, right? It's not something that you should be timid or afraid of. No, the Lord has demanded us to be courageous, right? Be courageous in him, right? Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And these are some of the wiles, right? The whole using this AI to frame Jake, to make it appear that they're doing things or saying things, or that they are, domestic tease, right? Because that's where this is going to lead to, right? Where they're going to try to, make the Israelites as being a national security threat. Okay, just like how they did with the Antifa movement, how they were able to label that a domestic tea, and then an international tea organization. Okay, based off of the ideologies that they have. That's the same thing. All of those are precursors, right? All of those are setting the foundation to come after those that believe in the Lord, as it says in the book of let me pull that up, 2 Ezra 16, right? So we're not soon shaken. Okay, if you have been paying attention, if you have been watching, being circumspect, then that this is this is all all according to what the Lord has forewarned us of. That's why Yahweh Shai said that I've told you these things before they happen. Okay, so that when they do happen, you will know, right, that basically what he said is true. Okay, and there's no other way around getting to the kingdom. See, as Paul said, confirming the souls of the disciples, right, and exhorting them that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. There's no other way around this. There's not another path. Okay, 2 Ezra 7th chapter, Salaki, let me just get that real quick, talks about, right, 2 Ezra 7 verse 6, there is also another thing. A city is builded, right? We have come into the heavenly Jerusalem. Okay, that city that is builded is speaking about the kingdom. All right, and remember, Yahweh Shai said that the kingdom is within you, right? Yahweh Shai being the chief cornerstone and the elect being those lively stones. All right, so that city that is builded, even when John saw it, when he recorded in Revelation, the 21st chapter, speaking about the 12 gates and the 12 foundations, and he measured it. That was all symbolic, speaking about the elect. All right, the 12 precious stones that were, each foundation, that was all the elect. That was that city that was built. It says, and is set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow. So in order to get to this place, right, in order to get to the kingdom, in order to get, to that high calling, then you have to go through the narrow. That is why Yahweh Shai spoke about the narrow path, right, the straight gate that leads unto life. What this devil is setting up is obstacles and, afflictions and tribulation to try to stop us, right, to try to trip us up from reaching that point. But remember, Yahweh Shai said that the let no man take thy crown. See, also in 2nd Esdras, the 2nd chapter, it says that the kingdom is already built, right? I think that's how it's phrased. Oh, it's already prepared. Okay, 2nd Esdras 2 verse where is that? Verse 11. No, not 11. Where is it at? Salakia. 2nd Esdras. Yep, 13. It says, go and ye shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened, which Yahweh Shai said that these days for the elect's sake are going to be shortened. Okay? The calamities and the woes and the tribulation, the persecution, the sword, the famine, the plagues are, really going to come down and are really set for the wicked. All right. It's not set for those who believe and trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Although we're going to be amongst it, right? The Lord is going to preserve us from those things. It says, the kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. Okay, so the kingdom is already prepared for us. All we have to do is walk in that path, that straight and that narrow path. So going back to 2nd Esdras 7 verse 7, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if it were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, and only one path between them both. See, and only one path. This is the only way to get to that reward. Just like how Yahweh Shai, when he prayed unto the Heavenly Father, he's asked them, right? Prayed 3 times. If there was another way for him to, do this, okay, right, so that he doesn't have to drink of that cup. But what? The Lord didn't respond. The Heavenly Father didn't respond because what was written, is what was written. And because it was written, there's no rewriting the script. Once the Lord set forth the word, then that is what must happen. Okay, so as it says again, in one only path between them both, right? Meaning it's either go through this path or you don't get there at all. It says, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be one man, Salaki, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, see, because we are the sons of God, right? And as sons, joint heirs, right? Heirs to what? The kingdom. So if this was given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? So if we don't go through this dangerous path, right? If we don't go through this dangerous place, if we don't, be circumspect and walk this tightrope, okay, which walking this tightrope means, not being entangled with the affairs of this world. Okay, not being, 1 foot in the truth and 1 foot out, right? Not being lukewarm. Okay, when you walk a tightrope, all of your focus, you got to be laser focused on your steps, laser focused on the task at hand. You see, that is why when we read in second chapter, it says watch. That's a part of it. You can't walk a tightrope and be distracted doing something else because the likelihood of you slipping and falling is very, very high. Okay, so it says Salakia. It says, and I said it is, and I said it is so, Lord. Then he said unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. So this is the portion of Israel, right? The Israel of God. This is what we have to, deal with. Okay, but knowing that we already have the victory, right? Knowing that the Lord, will be with us, then, we don't have to, be fearful, right? Because as it says in Revelation, the fearful and the unbelieving, right, will have their part in the lake. Right, the Lord don't want nobody that's fearful. The Lord doesn't want nobody that doesn't believe that doesn't believe that he has the, the power to deliver us in these times, man. Okay, but going back to, what this devil is doing as far as this, using, his technology, right, his pseudo wonders, right, his lying wonders as a means to entrap us and to accuse us. Hey, all that is doing is just, setting the stage up for the Lord. Like I said before, setting the stage for the Lord to show his power, right? And to deliver those that believe and call upon him. All right. This is Psalms 140, verse 1. It says, deliver me, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their hearts. Continually, they are gathered together for war. All right. And you see who this violent man is. Right. You see the imaginations of mischiefs that they have in their heart. And like I said, it's whenever, Esau is on the ropes, and whenever he sees that he's not doing well, what does he do? He makes Jake, right? He puts the onus on Jake, right? He puts it as, and I'm not excusing it, Jake for not being wicked, because we know our people are wicked. And this is why the Lord is allowing the sword to come upon them. All right. Via, the National Guard martial law and all these various different other things. But yet the Lord, as he said, I'll begin to bring evil upon the city that is called by my name. Shall thou go unpunished? Right? Talking to, you heathens, starting with Esau. You shall not go unpunished. All right. Also, as it says, that the Lord was sore displeased with the heathen that are round about. All right. He was a little displeased with his people, Israel, but you forward the affliction. Right. And you're forwarding the affliction. And like I said, the fact that we know that it's going to happen to where you try to use these mechanisms to slander and to lie on the Lord's elect, that's when the Lord is going to set up, that standard, man. That's when you're going to realize who the king of terror is. All right, because you're touching the Lord's anointed. You're touching the ones who are guiltless, right? Who in their mouth is found no guile. So reading on, it says, they have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. And that's going into what? Their laws, right? Their executive orders. Hey, even in like I was showing you in the clip from the Black Mirror, which was that one, Jonas Awful, came out back in 2023, where they showed that part where they were saying it was in the terms and agreements. That's how this devil, does things, right? He slides, things in long ass, paragraphs. And that's how he sets you up, because he knows most people aren't going to read those things. And in that TV show, right, it showed you that's what they do. So when they bring out right the ability to use your likeness and to use AI to make it appear that you're saying something, you're doing something, you won't be able to actually go to his crooked ass, justice system, right, to try to, gain vindication, because he's going to say, well, you actually agreed when you used, this service, right, and when you use YouTube, when you used Meta, right, when you used Instagram, when you used Netflix or whatever, the terms and agreements said that we can do this, and you agree to it. So that's how he has sharpened his tongue. His tongue is like a serpent. Adder's poison is under his lips. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who has purposed to overthrow my goings. Right? In NLT, it says, O Lord, keep me out of the hands of the wicked. Because only Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will be able to do that. Right? 2nd Ezra 16, it says what? Woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? Right? A lot of people are going to be looking, for deliverance. A lot of people are going to be looking for, a salvation, and they're not going to find it, because it's only in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? That's only where salvation is. So it says, who has purpose, Salakia, O Lord, keep me out of the hands of the wicked, protect me from those who are violent, for they are plotting against me. And this is the plot, right? This is the plot. Trying to frame. Scripture speaks about he frameth law as iniquity. Salakia, I know I'm butchering it. Who frameth mischief by law. That's what it was. Psalms 91 or 94 rather. Okay. He frameth mischief by law. So reading back, it says, the proud have set up a trap to catch me. They have stretched out a net. They have placed traps all along the way. Okay. And that is what they're doing with this whole AI and deep fake, right? And these various different, even with using Chat GPT and Gronk, you had Sam Altman a few months ago said, your conversations with these LLMs, right? These chat apps, they can actually be used against you, right? In court. All right. If you, depending on what you say, if they, find you guilty of a certain crime or whatever, they can go back into your chats and see, what you were saying. And they actually used it. I forgot exactly what the case was, but they actually did that. They did do that recently. All right. So that's why you also have to be circumspect, right? Knowing that we are behind enemy lines, knowing, right, that we are dealing with this crafty serpent. Okay. Don't give him any rope. All right. Resist the devil. We use these apps, we use these things, but be cautious and be, prudent when you're doing it. But as far as, him trying to frame us using AI and all that, hey, you got to do what you got to do, Esau, because when you do it, at that point, you're done. All right. So that's why we always say, you're going to try to do your worst. And that's because you know that you have a short time, right? That's because you know that you don't have anything else left. Okay, but we have the faith, the unwavering faith that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to set up that standard for us. Right here in the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Where is that at? Wisdom of Solomon 2. You know what? Let me get it in here. Salakia. Where's it at? No. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse. Let's start at verse 12. It says, righteous people are nothing but a nuisance, and this is how the wicked reason, right? It says, so let's look for chances to get rid of them. They are against what we do. They accuse us of breaking the law of Moses and violating the traditions of our ancestors. They claim to know God, and they call themselves the Lord's children. See, and this is what we do, right? Which that's all we're doing is going out professing, right, that we are the people of the Most High, right? We are the Israelites, and we are commanded to, call our people to repent, okay, and get right with the Lord before, the day of the Lord, right? Get right with the Lord before the wrath of the Lord comes upon this wicked age. But that is a dangerous thing unto this devil, because he knows that the Lord is not for his way, right? He's not for his cause. It says they claim, it says, we can't stand the sight of people like that. What they are, it says, what they are contradicts our whole way of thinking. Yeah, because they're perverse. Their knowledge and their wisdom is perverse. They are estranged from the womb. They are not like other people. They have strange ways. They think that our moral standards are so corrupt that everything we do should be avoided. Yep. They boast of having God for their father. They believe that when all is said and done, only the righteous will be happy. But let's see if that's true. Let's see what will happen when it's time for them to die. If the righteous really are God's children, God will save them from their enemies. So let's put them to the test. We'll be cruel to them and torment them. Then we'll find out how calm and reasonable they are. We'll find out just how much they can stand. We'll condemn them to a shameful death. After all, they say that God will protect them. See? And that's what we have faith in. That's what we do proclaim. That Yahweh, the one and only true God, will protect us, will rise up against us from the evildoers. You see, so they try to set these traps, right? They're trying to trip us up and catch us, right, with these snares. But hey, as it says, the snares that you lay, for us, you're going to fall into them. All right. Right here, Psalms 57, verse 6, it says, they have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have digged a pit before me into the midst whereof they are fallen themselves. See, read that in the NLT and we'll close it out. It says, my enemies have set a trap for me. I am weary from distress. They have dug a deep pit in my path, but they themselves have fallen into it. Okay, because as it says in Job, that the counsel of the forward, right, is headlong, right, and have fallen headlong. All right, they trying to, you trying to supplant Jacob, right? Esau is trying to entrap Jacob, but it's not going to work, man. Okay, it's not going to work, because once again, we are blameless in the righteous, in the eyes of the righteous judge. Okay, but we know that we have to walk this straight gate, right? We know that you're going to even have some people of our own family members that are going to believe this lie, right? They're going to look at it as if it really was us. Okay, that's why the Yahweh Shai said that the brother shall be betrayed of the father. Okay, the mother of the daughter, and XYZ. You see, because they're going to believe this lie, but only the elect are going to, understand. That's why Yahweh Shai said that if it were possible, they would be able to deceive the very elect, but it's not possible, right? Luke 21, verse 16, it says, and they shall be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends. And some of you shall they cause to be put to death, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Okay, so I ended with that. Just want to bring this out, Lord willing. Continue, like I said, to be circumspect, right? Understanding and knowing what the truth is. That's why it's important to know what the truth is, know, and I did a video a couple of weeks ago, right? Being persuaded, of those that you learn from, because the time is coming where they're going to be using, these technology to make it appear that certain prophets, men, right, believers are doing things that, will justify them to try to label us a certain way. But at the end of the day, we know that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is in control of all these things, man. And we just have to endure into the end. All right. So, with that, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Shalom.